Here we are, my brothers. 15 votes, 53% vote. Yeah. Alessio Manzorra. What's the matter? What's funny, mate? Anyway, good. I'd rather make somebody laugh than cry, that's for sure. Uh, my name is Vince Persone, Ironman ultra marathon runner, ultra runner. I used to do crazy stuff. Qualified personal trainer like 10 years ago. I've been training people. And I think I might have some knowledge to share. And let's get straight into it. Running, my people, running. One of the most overlooked, misunderstood, done badly things in sports. You rarely see somebody running outside correctly. Rarely. Because running is one of those things you just need to put your shoes on and get out. Anybody can run, you know. Anybody can just go out there and start moving forward, pushing with the legs. Anybody can do it. But the truth of the matter is that running is extremely dangerous. Extremely dangerous. If you're overweight, there's 1,000 things you can do better than running. If your technique is not there, there are 1,000 things you can do better than running. Running is awesome because you release a lot of stress. It's very satisfying. It gives you a great feeling when you're done, when you get home and you have the shower and you eat something. Afterwards, you feel nice and relaxed, and it gives you tremendous benefit. I mean, I love running. Don't get me wrong. I used to run. Trust me. I used to run forever, mate. I can't even believe it. I mean, sometimes I found a book with not all my training, but part of my training, and I'm reading something done by somebody else. I'm like, that can't be me, bro. I can't believe I did this. Do you know what I mean? But I guess I did. I guess it was me. You know, when you do I don't know if it ever happened to you, but when you do extreme things in life for a certain period of time, they feel like it wasn't you doing it. I wish somebody would reply to this, but it makes a lot of sense. I don't know. There was a time between, I want to say 2014 to 2021, so a good 7 years, and it's a long career for an Ironman that doesn't take any performing enhancing, drugs. Obviously, I was a lot lighter than this. Now I'm about, I don't know, 77, 78 kg. I'm growing these big guns, and back then I was 60 kilos, 62. So a good 15, 16 kilos light. I was thin, shredded. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Sometimes I see pictures and I'm like, bro, you were skinny. All my face sucked in, but I didn't see it at the time. It's crazy how perspective changes, because at that time I would obviously consider myself now super heavy, super overweight and chubby, but now I feel very good and strong and solid at this weight, and I see myself there and I'm like, wow, I was too skinny, man. You change perspective with years. Anyway, running. So what I was saying is this. Let me just be politically correct. What my experience tells me is that running should be done 90% of your running, because obviously if you want to do ultra marathons or Ironman and things like that, you're gonna be running. You can't really avoid running a lot, okay? So it's part of the game. But what you can do is make sure that you do 90% of it at very low pace. 90% of your running should be time running. It shouldn't be pace running. What do I mean with it is, you shouldn't say, I run 20K today, right? So you don't run the distance, but you run the time. You say, I'm running 3 hours. Easy pace, constant. And obviously if you want to do ultra marathons, you can learn how to eat while you run. You can drink, how to run, how to manage your little stops and this and that. Try your gear out and everything. But running mostly should be done at easy pace, where you just focus on your stride, on your technique, and on your breathing. You want to be as efficient as possible. One thing that not too long ago, I was watching, I think it was a Joe Rogan or somebody else video, that were looking at the way David Goggins run in a particular race. And they were like, because obviously they don't know what they're talking about. Oh my God, why does he run like this? Because he was running with the ultra running technique. That's how you run ultra marathons. That is the technique you do, because running ultra distances, it's a different running from running an half marathon or a marathon. They are two different sports. It's like a football 11 aside or 5 aside, or pool swimming, or open water swimming. They might seem the same thing, but they're completely different. In reality, the approach, the technique involved is different, you know? But for the running, if I could give myself an advice going back, is reduce it 10 to 20% and increase the strength workout. Because ultimately, the number one pillar of fitness, and there are many pillars, but the number one pillar is strength. So let me just say it this way, you can't have balance sorted without strength being sorted. You can't have flexibility, range of motion without some sort of strength. Strength is what allows you to move, to lift things. Strength is the number one pillar. Without strength, you couldn't move, right? So get strength covered and get your stride covered as well. Make sure that you land the right part of the foot. Your strides are not too long, that you don't bend your knees too much. You want to move forward, but at the same time moving as less as possible, because you want to be extremely economic in your movement. You don't want to waste any movement. So you can be flapping your arms side to side. You can obviously be flapping your legs backwards. And that is so common. The thing with running is this, is that when I was doing all my crazy things, yeah, please guys, like and subscribe. Hello, Ivan Prakoso. Hello, my brother. What are you saying, bro? What you got there, like a Spider-Man eagle? What is it? Like a Superman eagle? What's that? I like it. Anyway, nice to meet you. Please subscribe. I'm getting 19 votes in. 53% of the people say yes. Drop some timings. The unicorn dragon. Brother, what the hell is going on? Cute. The unicorn dragon, cute. Happy Easter, everyone. Yeah, man. Happy Easter, everyone. Where do you live, Ivan? Tell me. You tell me first. Nice, man. A little bit of conversation starting tonight. I'm loving it. So marathons, right? Marathons. To train for a marathon. I think major focus should be on getting stronger. So you would have to lift some weights. You have to. Happy birthday, Franceskindarina. Please, guys, subscribe and drop some likes. Yeah, I see all these people chatting, but only one like. What's going on here? How's that possible? Anyway, from my experience with myself and with my clients, when you start implementing squats, deadlift, leg press, leg extension, and leg extension, and all those beautiful exercises, your running gets way, way better. Way, way better. If you do it once a month. How about that? Once a month, extremely intense, 4 days off, and you do like that, and you just keep track. You will notice major improvement. You'll be like, how am I going to improve with once a month? Trust. Because you're going to be running, you're going to be cycling, you're going to be swimming, you're going to be doing all the other things in case of an Ironman. But in case of running, you're going to be running loads of times. So, because what you want to do is once a month, you do your strength where you really, really push hard. And the second, you do single leg exercises only for foot landing, strengthening your feet, strengthening your ankles, where you... I'll be right back. It keeps me out. I was saying. So once a month you do what you cover your basics, okay? Your squats, your deadlift, leg press, leg extension, crazy good, leg curls, calf raises, all those you want to target all the muscles of the legs, right? All of it, all of them, right? You want to target all of them. And then on another big set, you're gonna do a lot of different type of sessions. Okay, there's a lot of pieces to this puzzle. Okay, many pieces to this puzzle. But it's crucial that you do single leg exercises, because running, if you think about it, running is a single leg exercise. You don't hop like a rabbit, right? You don't do that. Yeah, you land one foot at a time. So running is a single leg exercise. You keep jumping from one foot to the other, creating a forward momentum, and then you just jump from one foot to the other and you keep moving forward. So it's one leg at a time. You run one foot at a time. You land one foot at a time. So you have to become a master of single leg exercises. Lunges, split jumps, single leg calf raises, plyometrics, box jumps, single leg box jumps, single legs landing, all those things to strengthen in a safe environment your feet and your ankles, which are really susceptible to stress. So you have to be extremely careful and extremely gentle at the beginning. Okay, but you will realize that the improvement that you will make, how stronger and more confident you feel when you land your feet in awkward pavement, awkward ground. If you go run up a mountain, bro, it's not going to be nice and flat for you. It's going to be all awkward. So you have to make sure that your foot is strong, your ankles are strong, and they absorb the impact correctly. Okay. I'll tell you one thing. I knew this guy was a cyclist, pure cyclist, a little bit overweight to be a cyclist. Cyclists are very thin. He was a kind of chubby dude, but he was good at cycling, really good, because he's been cycling all his life. And knowing me that I do Ironman, and that time everybody wanted to challenge me. While I was the Ironman, I was the challenge of all my friends. They wanted to go swimming, they wanted to go running with me, they wanted to go cycling. Everybody wanted to beat me up because they wanted, for some reason. But yeah, he tells me, Vin, I want to start running a little bit. I'm like, yo, be careful, because although you're very good, you can cycle 4 hours at very good pace. Your knees, your body, your structure is not used to the impact. It's a different mechanic. It doesn't translate. It translates better if you from running, cycle. It translates way better. Way better. But from cycling to running, it's a little bit different, because the impact of running doesn't exist in cycling. And if you carry a little extra weight and you're not used to it, the structure is not used to the bouncing, you're gonna hurt a lot and you're risking injuries. So be extremely careful. People hate when you tell them these things. It's like you're telling them, go, you're superhuman, don't worry about nothing, go. It's like, that's how they react to this. People don't like, and I kind of understand. I can understand and relate somehow. When you give people limits, they're like, you don't know me. That's a common reaction. But so we went running. He ran 5K, 10K, and it was a very good pace. And he goes, yeah, I was going nice and easy because everybody want to be superhuman. I'm like, bro, you sure? Because that's a tough pace. This is a good pace you kept. Well done, very good. I'm impressed. And I left it there. I met him long time ago, and he told me that after that he has the worst week of his life. He couldn't walk. The inner part of his legs were completely destroyed. The bouncing, something in the body is gonna absorb that impact. That energy goes through the body. So something gotta absorb that energy, that push, right? Told me, look, I couldn't walk for a week. I was it was terrible. I had to take painkillers. I couldn't go to work, and not that I love it, but obviously I told him, look, I told you, it doesn't translate like that. And because I observe people a lot, if you are a person that flaps, that walks like this a lot, be extremely careful with running, because very likely you got all the adductors, abductors, muscles asleep completely, and also your hip flexors are not firing, because you're not flexing your hips when you walk. But if you walk flat-footed, you're dragging your legs, right? So you're not bending your hips. You're actually keeping your hips open, go sideways and drag the foot side to side. You'll be shocked with how many people walk like that. Okay? So you got all your hip flexors completely dead. your adductors, abductors stressed because they're not triggered. You're always too open. Your hips are always too open. So you have to. It's doable. It can be done. A lot of people do it, but you have to rewrite your muscle memory. In that case, you will have to learn how to walk better as well, because you can't possibly think that you can run long distances and train hard and walk around like you don't know how to walk. You know what I mean? Just don't make sense. So first you have to start with that muscle memory, and those single leg exercises and stuff, they're very helpful. Learn how to, and also you have to become conscious when you walk around. Do go for long walks where you just focus on your stride and the way you land your feet. You have to reteach your body. It's gonna feel super awkward, but it's gonna pay off. It's gonna be, it will be. I had to do it myself. I when I first started, obviously I had problem with my knees, with my, I don't remember which one. I think both of them. I had the classic runner's knee, which is a fantasy. It doesn't exist, a runner's knee. If you are like me, without any experience, you put your shoes on, and after 2 weeks, you run your first marathon on your own. You got your day off, put your shoes on. I'm running a marathon today, without any knowledge of what you're doing. Obviously, you don't have the fitness to do that. You don't have the strength. You never run before. Like, obviously, you don't have the muscles to absorb all the impact, and then the bones no, are, so your knees will give. They will start hurting. You know what I mean? A runner's knee don't exist. So yeah, you will have to learn how to walk. Make sure you fire your hip flexors correctly. You will have to do a lot of hip flexors exercises, a lot of hip thrust, a lot of work, a lot of bridges, a lot of things like that. A lot of things where you just flex your hips, right? You have to, because they're very delicate muscles. I had problems with them. Most people do, because especially if you work 8 hours in an office and you're sitting down for 8 hours, those hip flexors are dead. Your hips side, down here is dead for most of the day. So you have to be extremely careful and learn how to use those muscles. And once you got that done, then given you are not overweight, because if you're overweight, you have to do other things, lose the weight, and then I'm talking for longevity. You can do whatever you want. If you go to any little marathon, any ultra marathons out there, there's big people doing it, and they are alive, they're well. You know what I mean? I don't think it's the best for their longevity, but if it makes it if that makes them happy, do it, man. Do whatever you want. It's better than being in a pub and drinking 10 beers, is it? I'm not even too sure if it's better for your body, running 70 miles through mountains with all that extra weight on you. I don't know if there's any health in that. I don't think there is any health in, even if you're light, even if you're fit, if you lean and ready. I don't think those things long term are super healthy. So I stopped because I accumulated so many injuries that I can't do those things anymore. Although I feel the call sometimes. Maybe one day I wake up and I do one. I don't know. I'm not stressing about. Yeah, let me see if I forgot something about it. And obviously the number one of the possibly, if strength is the first pillar. Their second pillar has to be flexibility, mobility, right? Range of motion, right? If I don't have range of motion of the ability of moving, I can't lift any. I can't do anything. I can't perform life. You know. So, although I used to pretty much despise them because they're not the best things, the most fun things to do. Flexibility, stretches, comes without saying. But to me, is important the approach with the weights, because if you have to train strength, okay, strength. So you have to move things around, bro. You have to push weights. You have to push weights. You have to eat those squats. You have to do those deadlift. Hit that reverse hyperextension to counterpart the squats and the deadlift stress on the lower back. You hit those reverse hyperextensions. You should be good. You drink plenty. You eat plenty. Look, I tell you this. I tell you, I think was maybe my last race, or one of the last races, and I was already here in Italy, and I was living in Milan, and because I'm crazy, bro. I'm crazy. And I wanted to do I wanted to do an ultra run. I wanted to go bananas, you know. I wanted to go a little bit crazy. So I found these things. I couldn't find anything too big, too long. So I found this 50K. I believe it was 50K. So it's nothing. If you're an ultra marathon run, if you're an ultra runner, 50K is the entry level. So I don't check anything, bro. I do not check anything. Ascent, difficulty, if you need any particular gear, if you do anything, I don't check anything. I don't have that type of time. I just stand up and I show up. So I get there and I realized sort of immediately that everybody was too prepared. So I got there in my shorts, my top, my shoes, my little backpack with my bottle of water inside, a couple of sandwiches, because I wasn't going to do it super fast. I wanted to chill, take some pictures in the mountains. You know what I'm saying? Just, I don't have sticks. I don't have nothing. And I realized immediately that everybody's super geared up. And I'm like, where are they going? Geared up like this, right? So I get there, the guy starts speaking, because there's obviously the briefing before races, and the guy starts saying, you know, the ascent is this. I don't remember the ascent, but I didn't really care about the ascent. You know, it's very technical, it's very difficult, be careful, it's rough terrain, and this and that. And as always, I overlook. I'm like, whatever, man. It's just 50K. How bad can it be? You know, in my head is, how bad can it be? It was the worst. It was my best race ever. I came last. Just say, Vin, your best race ever, you came last. Yes. I had the most fun ever, because somehow in the moment I found it hilarious that I found myself in this crazy, super difficult, super rough terrain, a lot of rocks, a lot of big rocks, a lot of V-shaped channels to go through with big rocks, so you have to be very technical, very demanding on your ankles, very up and down, up and down. Uh, it was hard. I got lost I got lost 2 times. I had to call the guy, and so I think I ran maybe 60k rather instead of 50 because I got lost. And so I got to the top of this hill, and I'm like, damn, this is this is way harder than what I thought. This is really, really bad. I didn't have enough food on me, not enough water. I had to ratio my water. Uh, it was crazy. It was crazy. And I wasn't last for the whole race. I was doing all right. But in the last 10K, I remember the last 10, 15Ks, they were so technical, so hard, so rough terrain. The terrain was terrible. There were old rocks. And I invite you to try run even 500 meters on big rocks, all messed up and with is that you can't, you have to tip tap on those things. It's hard, it's difficult. So I see people that are starting passing me, because obviously the people with the sticks, they go much faster in those things because you can distribute your weight, right? And you can be lighter on your feet with those things, and more efficient. You move way faster. And so I start seeing people passing me, and I remember I asked this guy, I'm like, thank God I asked him, otherwise I would have known. I'm like, how many people do we have behind us? And he went, I'm the last one, bro. So, and he went, I am the last one. Oh, sorry, you are the last one. And he took off. And I couldn't keep up with him. There was nothing left in me. And I remember I told my wife, honey, don't worry, I believe I'll be back in 6 hours. I believe I'll be back. Don't worry about nothing. It took me forever. I think I stayed out there for like 7 hours. So bad. Very, very steep hills. Funny enough was the hills, when they were steep, it was flat. There that you want a little bit of grip, it was flat. It was terrible. Like, it was terrible. Terrible. Or beautiful, depends how you see it. And when I arrived, my feet were so destroyed by those rocks. My feet were so damaged. So damaged. The guy, I arrived at the end, the guy said to me, oh, thank God, I thought we had to come and get you. And I was like, no way. And then he looked at me and he went, where are you? Did you do it like this? No sticks, no nothing. I was like, no, man, no. I was obviously underprepared. And he was like, wow, man, you're crazy. And that was my best compliment of the day. And I got home and I was completely messed up for days. 4 days. And one thing people don't realize, when you do those long things, apart from the physical fatigue, obviously, is the mental fatigue. For 2-3 days, you are, you're not there with the head. People talk to you, your focus is not there because you burn so many calories in one day, and you got inevitably dehydrated and all the inflammation and everything. There's no blood in your flipping brain. Seriously, the crazy thing is, To me, the weirdest thing was always the night of the Ironman. After I completed an Ironman, the night was the worst night of my life because I was so much pain, and in in discomfort. Yeah, everywhere that you can't sleep. It's not like you do this, the adrenaline in you. You go home, you stay in bed, you start turning side to side, and this side hurts, that side hurts, everything hurts. It's not funny. And for 2 3 days, people need to have patience with you. I tell patience, because it takes time for the brain to rehydrate, and that's why at the end I was like, why am I doing this? Do you know what I mean? I think it's detrimental. I really do. It can't be healthy. It can't be healthy. There's too much damage. But what are you gonna do? Anyway, guys, I hope I gave you some good advices. I hope somebody liked and subscribed. No, man, I'm not in your dream, bro. Siguena, bro. Come on, get yourself together, man. Get yourself together. What's wrong with these people, man? What's wrong with these people? Anyway, 26 votes, one of my highest. 58% says yes, 42% says yeah. And I'm saying bye bye. Have a good night. Take it easy.